in the gym today, and perhaps for the better, as for the past week in the Mid-Atlantic area, heavy rain, heavy cloud coverage, and today we have some sun, humidity a little bit higher. But one problem we noticed yesterday during our broadcast was trying to maintain a grip on the floor, and not sure if there were any sort of pinhole leaks in the roof, but certainly walking outside, a lot of moisture being brought in by sneakers and more. So if we've seen any slipping so far, it's more so just been from incidental contact and chasing down the ball, no real banana peel style slips. Max, what have you noticed thus far in the first half, and what brings us to this 23-19 halftime?
Yeah, Lady Gauchos came out early, really aggressive on the defensive side of the ball, you know, working the glass real early on. And then RNS just able to work out of the trap, out of the full court press, pushing the ball up as fast as they can, which generated some fast-paced transition offense.
And for family, friends, recruiters, you couldn't make the trip out here to West Berlin, be sure to share the link, phillyfaceofflive.com, again presented by Big Star Sports, to get the live stream of not only this game, we have 3 more coming up this afternoon as we now approach 10 after noon here in the East Coast. And getting ready to start our second half in a game that Riverside has not held the lead, but has come back from down as much as 10 points in the first half. Deja McPhee to inbound to Jayla Self. Self calling for a play. And getting in trouble here. First turnover of the second half, and it goes to Lady Gauchos. Harvey Carr, that pass was not intended for her, but nonetheless, at least was the same teammate. She had a push for the basket, loose ball, and a foul called on the shot. She'll take a trip to the line. Harvey Carr, Brazil Harvey Carr, very dominant first half on both ends of the floor. And first shot is good for our first point of the second half, 24-19. Brazil Harvey Carr, one of the starters of the game for the Lady Gauchos, and she makes the second shot. She gets boxed out there by Jayla Self. One of those legal plays, kind of rough up the teammate, and getting roughed up here is Maya Pebbles. And for a jump ball, she didn't have much help. 15-20 and counting in our second half. The clock will stop at 8 minutes, and during any stoppage of play will stop. Fouls, balls out of play, and now a very late substitution as Maya Johnson is going to step in. Deja McPhee to step out. Team switching sides. The Lady Gauchos now going from left to right. And that ball goes out of play. Stopped pretty quickly as the Central Pennsylvania Dynamite playing on the far right end of the gym. They were one of the teams we covered yesterday as they were victorious in their game. Game archive on our site, on our YouTube. Pebbles receiving the pass and gets blocked right there, right at the end by Jordan Obi, one of 4 players over 6 foot on this team. That one is for 3, and it is good. Brazil Harvey Carr from downtown once again, 28-19. And it's been all over the floor for Carr, all over the floor as well for Nia Fields with the steal and the quick putback, and that's going to result in an early timeout with 14:06 remaining.
Yeah, Joe, and good use of hands there, coming up with a steal, forcing RNS to take an early timeout with 14 minutes left here in the second half of this one.
Joey Glenn joined by Max Duffy today in our second day of the Philly Face-Off coverage presented by Big Star Sports. As again, at one point, Lady Gauchos New York up by as much as 10, 30-19, so now they have their largest lead of the game at 11, 14:06 remaining in regulation. And it's been, press defense has been a major part of the game, as a lot of times Riverside had a really man court.
Yeah, and like you said, Joe, beginning early on, it was a rough start, but they settled in after a little while. I expect them to answer right back here in the second half.
And that's what they look to do as Riverside to inbound. There is no player on my end of the court, as both of us are to the left of midcourt. Max just a little bit closer to the opposite side. This one is for three, and just short. Looked good from the release for Maya Johnson, but just a little bit short. Fields right back to Harvey Carr. She's double teamed. Just off the glass, she did have a good look at it though. Pebbles, Maya Pebbles, 2-on-1 situation. She's gonna take it herself. No foul called. Fields called with the block, as Pebbles did have the opportunity to dish that off to Jayla Self, but Fields able to keep the defense. That was Brazil Harvey Carr once more going for three. Could not make it. 1-on-2 situation. She's gonna take it herself. That was Jayla Self trying to do it on her own, as she had two Lady Chos, C-H-O-Z, as the front of their jersey reads, in her face. 13:08 with a 30-19 score. Abigail Robinson now coming in for the Lady Chos, her first appearance of the afternoon. Called this one the brunch game, as our tip-off was 12:15. I don't see any breakfast items available to me. Foul called on the play. That is not the responsibility of the Peak Seals Basketball Center. Don't think they would have mimosas served here, given the large number of individuals in the building who could not partake in them. But nonetheless, we're having a good time, right, Max?
Always a great time with AAU basketball.
Absolutely. That first shot is off, as Riverside looking for their first point of the second half. No real mascot name for this team, however, as their warm-up shirts read, Riverside never stops. That ball off the top of the backboard, really funky path for that ball off of the rim, as Lady Gauchos looking to take advantage, and that is a foul and one. As we apologize, our rosters do not have number 20 listed on them. We're going to be sure to find the identity of our incognito athlete. I can certainly tell you this. She wears the number 20, which is the number I wore in Little League basketball myself. The 0 is a little faded, but that is just going to be on Tyree Allen. Ball stays on the other end. Pebbles getting the pass. Had a little bit of it deflected. And now another whistle blown, as the bench for Riverside a little frustrated and confused as to what is occurring. It's going to stay with Riverside. 11:56. Pebbles out to McPhee. McPhee one-on-one. McPhee crossover move, shot up, and a beautiful shot. Whistle was called, but that's from the opposite end, so no trip to the line. But a successful conversion for Deja McPhee. Crossover up and off the front of the rim. And Riverside, again, trying to cut into this deficit, trying to take advantage of any opportunity that the Lady Gauchos do not convert. This one is for three, off the back. Riverside rebounds, and that is a steal out of the hands. That ball almost going out of play. That corner is there's a lot of traffic going on there. Pass across the middle, and that's a travel called. For a moment, thought we would hear a foul call, but traveling is the sign, and a brief pause as our basketball snuck into the further court. And we're back in play, 10:45 and counting. And up double team, this is gonna be some trouble. And an easy basket, Tyree Allen. And now, why not just had half your team down at the basket, cherry picking, unintentional cherry picking as there's a quick turnover. But RNS cannot take advantage of that. As Allen, oh, that ball actually goes right. How about that? If we were able to see that, the ball went into the second game and the play still finished in the opposing game. I'm still waiting for the moment where a second basketball comes in and is shot by the court receiving it. Has not happened yet. But anything, you haven't seen everything whenever you do broadcast any game of any level. But it always seems to happen with the younger players where oddities are more common. Foul called on the shot. As Kat Bochi Yadam, another one of 2 3-part names on this roster. Yadam, Y-A-O-D-O-M. That first one is good. We do not get any phonetic spelling, so I apologize if any name throughout the broadcast does not sound the way it should. Believe me, it happens to me just about every day. And wow, really aggressive as we see Lady Gauchos not even letting Riverside advance the ball.
Yeah, they come down with a rebound and trap immediately, sticking her underneath the basket, and they have to inbound right away.
And makes the task that much more difficult when down by 15. And they're going to say that the dribble hit the line. And another turnover against Riverside. As the Lady Gauchos perhaps should see them not rush it, but Maya Pebbles able to come with the steal. Here's an opportunity to cut into this deficit. Nice pass behind. Clean block, no whistle. And certainly frustration on the face of the Riverside bench and the Riverside players on the floor. Another clean block. Not as many whistles as one would expect in these games. Pebbles needs some help. Who can she get it from? Across the court. Too high. Too much hang time on that pass. It results in a turnover and a nice move by Fatima Lee as she avoided getting blocked. You almost saw it develop as Maya Johnson for Riverside stuck with her, and Lee will get a trip to the line.
Yeah, and that's a tough ask for her. You know, she should have had help slide down underneath, and, you know, they should have switched and rolled, but you see there she had to draw the foul in order to not give up the easy 2 points.
First shot is good, and Max, you're right. This is a common theme we've seen, not just in the games that we've broadcasted this weekend, but there are additional games in our break time. Both shots are good by Fatima Lee, is helping out the teammates and certainly trying to succeed in making the passes when you have defense as strong as this. And foul called, that's some strong defense too. The foul is drawn by Asia Perry, who's going to go to the line, as Jordan Burton for Riverside also trying to put one off the glass. 8:39 remaining in regulation, 38-21. That first one is good. Yeah, certainly a little warmer today. And again, our officials, not just on our end of the floor, but the other end of the floor, doing a great job this weekend. They don't get a lot of breaks, and certainly don't get a lot of breaks from the passionate family and friends who are in attendance. But I will say that have received a good level of respect from those in attendance, and a quick one, good for Deja McPhee. And that might have to be a strategy that Riverside goes with going forward with 8:20 in regulation. Looking for any opportunity to cut into the deficit, and putting her at 2 chances to put it right back up and in. Abigail Robinson, both off the glass No good. Our clock approaching 8 minutes, which means we will have a 8-minute warning, so to speak. The clock freezes, and now from here on, any stoppage of play will result in a pause of the clock. Oh, what a cross behind the back and good. That's a highlight if I've seen one. Maya Johnson behind the back, left-handed off the glass and good, and that drew quite the reaction from everyone in attendance, everyone on this broadcast certainly. 38-27, as I'm still in awe of that play, and that ball goes out of play. Max, you saw what I saw, right?
Of course I did, Joe. The use of the behind the back, able to get into the lane and off the glass. What a beautiful move.
Very beautiful move. Certainly the confidence glowing right there, as if I had attempted that, I think that ball would probably be at the snack stand right now. Trip to the line, first shot off the back. No good, as it is Tyree Allen at the line for the Lady Gauchos. The Lady chose. Again, multiple teams from New York in this AAU tournament with the name Gauchos. Second shot again off the back of the backboard, putting it right back up. And good, Tyree Allen. Could not hit the free throws, but she'll take a field goal, and this pass gets intercepted by, was almost intercepted, but Burton made the shot, and a long three from downtown, Deja McPhee. And that was a long three. Beautiful form and a nice arc to that shot. As we like to say, a rainbow. And also McPhee, how about that? Long three and aggressive on the defense. It will draw a foul. But again, as they said, they will take the foul over the easy two. You'll take your chances on one or both of these free throws being missed. And Riverside's coach very happy with McPhee's effort here in the past. She's earned some water. She's earned some water with that performance in the past 60 game seconds or so. The first one is good for Fatima Lee. 6:49, clock pause.
Yeah, and RNS really battled back here, Joe. Down 16 points, have now cut the deficit to 10 until drawing this last foul. So, I mean, RNS has to just settle in and stay with the ball game, and they seem to be generating offense on the fast break. So let's see what they can do here in the final 6:50.
Yeah, plenty of time. That is a decade in basketball terms. That second point is good, 42-30. Again, Lady Gauchos with aggressive press defense. And, oh, that one was really close, and those are the frustrating ones. Asia Perry had a nice clean look, and just nothing you can really do about it. They're not all going to sink. And Gauchos trying to cut into some of this clock. We'll see what happens as a loose ball. Maya Pebbles recovering. Pressing. Going to take it on her own. And nice touch off the back of the glass by Pebbles. And oh, look at this, a swat right at the line. It's going to stay with the Gauchos as Brazil Harvey Carr is able to cover it, but what a swat, a volleyball swat by Maya Pebbles after making the bucket. And if nothing else, again, there's still a lot of time left in this one. Down by 10, you love to see the effort by Riverside. In the game we just had in front of us about half an hour ago, although one team was down by about 15 with 8 seconds left, the coach was really displeased with the effort of one of his players, and you could hear him verbally scream, "You're going to play like that with 8 seconds to go?" That one is good, and it's going to be rewarded with a trip to the line. Asia Perry off the glass, and an opportunity for a three-point play, which when you're trying to cut into a 10-point deficit, those are big, right, Max?
Of course. You know, she goes to the line. She's able to have the opportunity to pull this game within 7 points with still 5 minutes and 54 seconds remaining. There's plenty of time left on this clock, Joe, for RNS to really pull back within this game and come out with a victory.
Plenty of time left, and certainly you expect defenses to be a bit more aggressive, as that one does not go in. But you expect defenses to be more aggressive, as certainly Riverside just now aggressive, trying to prevent this ball from getting over half court. And wow, look again. You gotta love this effort. That's Asia Perry again, not letting the missed free throw discourage her. able to sneak behind the 6-foot Brazil Harvey Carr to get the ball loose. And a whistle was blown as that ball was out of play on the Lady Gauchos. Perry trying to get it in. Oh, that's a nice way to do it. By design, perhaps. Pebbles with it. Pebbles underneath the rim, just off block. Falling to the floor is Brazil Harvey Carr as the foul drawn by Jordan Burton. And Riverside's bench max is really getting into it now, too.
Yeah, they seem poised to make a late push here.
Riverside shooting in the direction of their bench. Getting an up-close personal look. Ooh, a swirly in and out, no good. Those are the tough ones. Can't do much of anything about those. 5:35 remaining in regulation as we have a everyone check your shoes as Burton doing just that. It's kind of a Little League rule, everyone check your shoes. That one is off and no good. 5:30 remaining in regulation. Ball coming right by our table. Into Harvey Carr. No good. Pebbles. Then McPhee looking for the quick one. No good. Nia Fields, excuse me, with the rebound. Oh, gets it right back. She wasn't ready for that one. A little bit of self-defense. What a crossover move right there. Shot up. No good. Putting it right back up off the glass. No good. Brazil Harvey Carr getting fouled. She almost got kind of dragged to the ground right there by Jordan Burton. Both players taking tumbles to the floor. 5:04 with the clock stopped in regulation. 42-34 in favor of Lady Gauchos from New York. First one up in and good for Brazil Harvey Carr, who has been doing it all. Defense, playing off the boards. A couple from downtown as well, and a few trips to the line. Off the rim, no good. This is a tall Lady Gauchos team with 5 players over 6 foot. And you don't need to be 6 foot to put it in the basket, as Asia Perry pushing to make that basket. 43-36. 4:45 and counting remaining in the period. And what the Lady Gauchos want to do here, I'd imagine, again, want to take some of this clock off, as Riverside is still very much in this game and very much making a push. Might go as far as to say momentum is on their side, and momentum will continue to be on their side, as that's Maya Pebbles who put a hand up to block the shot. It's going to result in a trip to the line, but nonetheless stonewalled, as Fatima Lee will go, Tyree Allen to the line. 4:28 as the first one up and good. 44-36 in favor of the Lady Chos.
Yeah, Joe, and you've been mentioning Maya Pebbles all day today, flying up and down the court on the offensive, defensive end, able to grab rebounds. Got a little too aggressive on the last play, but she's playing a great game here in game 1.
Absolutely a great game. It looks like she's been in the entire time. What a spin move right there, Maya Johnson. This is for 3. Up and no good. Brazil Harvey Carr with the rebound. Maya Johnson with a great spin move. We've already seen one great move today behind the back, as Pebbles falls, Monty Spence falls to the floor there. But it's going to result in Jordan Obi, another 6 foot player for the Lady Chos. Abigail Robinson, who has played a few minutes in this game. She is the tallest listed player at 6'3". But again, 5 players over 6 foot for this Lady Gauchos team. While Riverside has kind of countered that with speed on the floor. And it's an 11-point game now, 47-36 with 4:05 clock running. Pebbles is just going to go for it. Why not? Off the back, no good. It was a good look, though. Hesitation by the Lady Chos defense. And Pebbles read that as an opportunity to take the shot. This is Brazil Harvey Carr, one-on-one, turns, and that is good. It is good if it's on the shot. as we try to hear in from the officials if it was on the shot, if it was on the floor.
Looks like they're going to give her the shot there, Joe.
All right. Well, scoreboard still reads 47-36. Let's see. It is a 1-1. Or it was a 1, so perhaps you were correct there, Max. Riverside can't take advantage of the breakaway, 3:35 and counting. As again, Riverside has certainly stayed in it. They have not shown any signs of slowing down effort-wise. Off the glass, no good. Ball on the floor now. Shinobi was the one to try to put it off the glass, 3:21. McPhee calling for some help. She's going to call Maya Johnson. Johnson, McPhee, and Pebbles, who played a majority of these minutes. All three started this afternoon. Johnson again with a nice spin, and she came very close to converting yet another crazy spin. We saw earlier behind the back conversion off the glass. She's had two great cuts and turns, certainly showing a lot of agility and spontaneous strategy. First basket is good, 47-37.
Yeah, Joe showing some great athletic ability, able to get into the lanes here today.
And the second one is no good, but fighting for a rebound, and it's going to go the other way, 2-on-1 situation. As the rest of the ladies from both teams able to come over. Fields to the corner. Harvey Carr thought about a three. Got him move off the glass, and no good. But Max, if you notice there, you could certainly tell that they respect the shooting of Brazil Harvey Carr, as for a moment she had the opportunity to look at a three, and the defense reacting to that.
Yeah, and she provided a little head fake, which was able to really get her a step into the lane and really crash the glass there.
Maya Johnson over to Pebbles. Pebbles 2-on-1, and they're going to call a travel. She was looking for a reaching foul. I cannot blame her for her frustration, as she had two defenders on her, and she kind of looked at the official saying, well, what am I supposed to do? Jayla Self to inbound. Again, the opposite roster. Having to learn a lot of names in a short period of time, but I'm always up for a challenge, as are the women on this floor. As we are approaching the 2-minute mark in regulation. That went off the glass and good. Fatima Lee, who started off the play inbounding, as the defense stays strong, and falling right in front of our table is Asia Perry with 1:55. And she'll get a trip to the line, 49-37. And we're going to have a short break after this one, as the 8th grade 49 to 38, approaching 12:40 p.m. Eastern Time. Second shot is good for Asia Perry, minute 54. Gauchos very aggressive and a travel called as the bench frustrated, perhaps because the 10-point lead, no real reason to rush. Thinking about burning some clock. Abigail Robinson stepping in as Fatima Lee will sit out. Perhaps strategy now to get your tallest players on the floor and try to prevent any sort of looks. Maya Pebbles had a look there though, just off. That is a shot she has. Converted at least once today, but again, they will not all fall. And another trip to the line for Asia Perry.
Yeah, fighting low or fighting tough in the low post is just able to get her to the line and shoot 1 and 1.
And given the clock stopping, and of course, very big at this stage of the game. First one in and out, very close, but does not fall. Are approaching our final minute and 6 seconds now, 51-39, timeout called by Riverside.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work first time through, try it again, and that's exactly what they did as they were able to get that pass to create in the low post, you know, coming away with easy 2 points.
Beast Builders Girls Basketball Camp is August 25th and 26th by Big Star Sports here in West Berlin, New Jersey. Be sure to visit beastbuilderscamp.com. Again, it's our first of 4 games being broadcasted here on PhillyFaceOffLive.com, presented by Big Star Sports. I'm Joey Glenn. I'm joined by Max Duffy here at the Peak Skills basketball venue here in West Berlin, New Jersey. And again, we're called Philly Face-Off. We're only 15 miles east of Philadelphia, down Route 73 to reach the Tacony-Palmyra Bridge, not far from the other major bridges leading into Philadelphia, which you do not have to pay a toll to get into, but you have to pay a toll to get out. Fields with a bounce pass getting broken up. Fields, does she want for three? Nope. Perhaps realizing that clock is more important at this stage of the game, but she'll take a shot there. That is off. Brazil Harvey Carr attempting to get the rebound, loose ball. Pass over to Perry. Perry to Pebbles. Pebbles does have some help, but she's going to get rejected there at the end. Jordan Obi, one of the many tall players on this team, over 6 foot. Right off of the inbound and good for Deja McPhee. 51-39 with about 15 seconds now remaining in regulation, as we might see Fields dribble this one out depending on what McPhee wants to do. Fields passing it to the corner, and at this point it might just be hot potato to wrap this one up. 51-42, as we start to hear both benches applaud for both benches. And we wrap it up here with the final score, 51-42. And in just a moment, we will be able to speak with our players of the game on the red carpet. And Max, what are your final thoughts on how this one wrapped up?
Yeah, there was some interesting plays by both teams. I mean, you saw the little behind the back there, which was a beautiful move. But also, I mean, the suffocating defense that the Lady chose really caused problems early on for RNS, and that was the difference of the game right then and there.
As both teams chat with each other at the end of the game, we're going to be speaking out in just a moment. Okay, so you Lady Gauchos really created a lot of separation at the end. What do you think credits how you're able to really extend the lead to a 9-point lead at the end?
Just like passing the ball a lot, looking for like open shots instead of forcing shots, and like separating because they couldn't really guard us. So just like spreading everybody out and taking everybody one-on-one.
What do you think was the strongest defensive point by your team or any particular player that stood out that prevented a comeback by your opponent?
That's a good question. I think Fatima, when it was a fast break layup, when like she ran and scooped the ball, and that really like gave the crowd an excitement because they didn't know that she could scoop the ball from her like that.
Well, thank you. Congratulations on your performance. Good luck with that in the future, and we're going to be back in just a few moments. And what is your name?
Daimani Tucker.
Daimani Tucker. Great game today. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Boston Stars. What is that? What's your team? Stars Fairfax? What is it called?
Fairfax Stars.
Fairfax. Okay, Fairfax. And I got the red carpet. You just gotta find it. Yeah.
Fairfax Stars, Baltimore. I think we should have. I've seen both names. I think we should have them. And it's just awkward being like, hello, unnamed player. We're gonna, I mean, at least we have it for later, but whatever. I wanted 12 and Fields and Carr, but yeah, I guess because they, whatever.
Is this Rizzo or is this?
No, that's just, I just wrote that down because we didn't have her name. Oh. That's who this was.
Yeah, but did you pick her or did Rizzo pick her?
No, right? I think how that happened was they knew we needed her name and just came over. Yeah, I wanted Fields and Harvey Carr.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they were really
Wow. I know, I try not to I don't want to interrupt them during their